Hello everybody, I'm Maria and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my January reading journal update. So we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to be updating the opening spreads to reflect the books that I read this month. We're going to set up my January dashboard and title page, and also set up a couple of book review spreads that I have yet to do of some of the books I read this month. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. As you can see here, I've already started to update some of the books that I've read this month, but I did manage to read another book since I last updated it, so I've managed to read 4 books in January in total, which is a really good start to the year, I think. I was really happy with the amount of reading I got done this month. The last book I read in January was When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly. I gave it 4 stars and it was 456 pages long, and I finished it on the 28th of January. This is my Adventurers Guild page, which is basically my book bingo for the year. I've already filled out some of the challenges that I've managed to do this month, but I realised I forgot to fill out like this little progress bar, so I'm just going to fill that out now with my January colour. Also for the bard, which I've managed to fill out 2 of the tasks for the bard, which means I've actually recruited him into my party, which is very exciting. And that means that now books with LGBT main characters get a 10 plus XP boost. And given that When the Tides Held the Moon has 2 LGBT plus main characters, that means it gets an extra 10 points. So I'm just going to quickly look to try and see if it manages to fill any of the other criteria. Oh, it is a standalone fantasy. It's not a high fantasy, but it is standalone. So I think, at least I think it's standalone. So I think I'm going to fill that out for this one, unless I find something. I have just noticed here there's read a book based on its cover. And it really has, one of the things that drew me into it was how pretty the cover was. So I think given that this one has already got something filled out, I'm going to fill out one of the barbarians tasks so that we can try and make progress in all aspects. So let's just fill that out too. Which means altogether that book, so it was over 400 pages, so it gets 15 points plus a 10-point XP boost for having LGBTQ plus main characters, so that's 25, and another 10 points for filling out a companion quest, which altogether means that I got 35 XP points for experience points for When the Tides Held the Moon, so that's quite a big boost. I don't have anything else to fill from my physical TBR because I read that using on my Kindle, but you can see I managed to read 2 books this month from my physical TBR. I've already updated this page. I finished the Empire of the Vampire series this month by finishing Empire of the Dawn, and I also read the first book in the Nevernight Chronicles, and I'm actually currently listening to the second book, God's Grave, so we're making good progress on that too. Okay, so here is my monthly stats summary page. For January, I read 4 books. I read 1,350 pages, which is quite good. And then I unfortunately also bought 6 books, which is not fantastic. That doesn't really help me with my goal, but it is what it is. I actually want to add, so there are like different sources of experience points, mainly based on how long the book is and whether it fulfills one of my goals for the year. But I'm actually going to put a source of negative XP, which is, I'm going to put, if I buy a book, that means minus 5 XP to try and further persuade me not to buy any more physical books. From the books I read, I actually got 155 experience points, but unfortunately because I bought books, that meant that altogether for this month I got 125 experience points. I am not going to fill in my progress tracker just yet because I don't know whether I want to keep it at 1,000 points for defeating the dragon. Um, I didn't actually test it in any way, so I don't know how easy or hard it is to gain points and to reach that. So I think I'm going to wait a couple of months and see how many points I'm getting on average, and then adjust the goal according to that. Right now, I'm thinking I'm probably going to up it to maybe 1,500 or 2,000, but we'll see. From my priority books that I want to read this year, I've already read one of them, which is Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. And I've also added a couple of books to my On the Horizon page. For my non-reading related pages, you can see here that I have updated some of the TV shows I've watched this month. So I watched the second season of Percy Jackson, which actually I really enjoyed. I think I enjoyed it more than I did the first season. I thought it was quite funny, much funnier than the first season, and much more action packed too. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm very much looking forward to the third season, which is coming out this year. I've also managed to watch the first season of Abbott Elementary, and I finished my rewatch of Gilmore Girls. Me and my friend watched Heated Rivalry in just one day, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I had so much fun watching it.